Welcome to the Search Select Recruitment Podcast, discussing anything from writing CVs all the way to how to approach a job interview and much more. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about whether it's a good idea or whether it's beneficial, I guess, to accept a counteroffer. So that would mean if you were to find a job with a new employer and you'd go to your existing employer to say you've wished to hand in your notice, you've got an alternative job offer and they make you a different offer. Now, unfortunately, if you're listening to this, you're not going to get a definitive yes or no answer from me, because obviously it's subject to a number of different thoughts and reasons of why you would look at alternative employment and whether a counteroffer would make sense to accept. But obviously there's a number of ideas that you can look at and a number of things to try and help you with your thought process. So I guess the first thing to take into account is you've obviously to be in the position of gaining a counteroffer, you have been job seeking. So that is usually because you've been unhappy at work, you're feeling underappreciated, maybe you've been overworked, maybe you're looking for a better sort of work-life balance. So you've probably contacted a recruitment agency and they've looked at a number of opportunities for you. And then before you know it, you're sitting in interviews and you've got a job offer and you're in this sort of position now where you need to decide whether you stay with your current employer, who's maybe throwing at you, I guess, a fancy new job title, some more money, and you've got a decision to make basically. So should you stay with your current employer or should you leave? Now, the thought process to me is you need to sort of list out the pros and cons of staying where you are. Why were you going to leave in the first place? By accepting the counteroffer, or the problems that you did have or the reason for leaving, have they been resolved by the counteroffer? I.e., if you were just leaving for a greater amount of money and they've offered you more money, then that may solve the problem. Now, if it was a work-life balance, if they're offering you more flexible hours, that may also solve the problem, but is that going to stay there longer term? Now, well aware that money is not always just the basis of a counteroffer. It could be things like flexible working and different hours or different benefits that you think would be more beneficial to you as an individual. Now, COVID-19 has obviously brought out a number of different ways of working. Companies are having to be more flexible. Work-life balance is on the agenda more than it ever has been. So it's not like, I guess I keep coming back to, it's not always just money for the reason that people choose for leaving. It's other things as well. So there's the benefits that come with working, or the flexibility that comes with that as well. So why am I talking about counteroffers? And that's because we're seeing a lot more of it within the Isle of Man marketplace. So if you flip back 2 years, so January 2021, we're in the, I guess, I don't want to call it the final lockdown, but it was, hopefully, touch wood, the final lockdown of COVID-19. Unemployment was at sort of 1,034 people. You fast forward to now, January 2023, so 2 years on, and unemployment is at around about 292 people, so significantly lower in the last 2 years. So that's obviously good for the Isle of Man economy. That means unemployment's very low, but it does mean that gaining replacements for individuals when you lose them can be quite difficult. So, for example, if your current employer loses you and your experience, they know that being able to replace you could take a lot of time and money. Obviously, as a recruitment agency, we're there to assist with that. But it can set them back a lot of money in terms of advertising, fees, time having someone out the business. So it often makes sense for them to, I guess, throw the proverbial kitchen sink at you to try and make you stay, because then worries obviously go away. Now, research suggests longer term that if you do accept a counteroffer, so if you accept a counteroffer from your current employer, that 50% of people actually start searching within 6 months of accepting the counteroffer. So that suggests that if you do accept it, then within 6 months, you'll actually start searching for another role, or there's a 50% chance that you will do. Now, even more interesting is research suggests that 90% of people within the first 12 months, if they accept the counteroffer, will actually start searching for a new role. So this is research, this isn't me saying, but there's a 90% chance that if you accept the counteroffer, that you will actually start searching for alternative employment within the 12 months of accepting that counteroffer. So I guess it's not for me to say, but you can, I guess, read what you can from them statistics and make your own mind up. Another thing to bear in mind is the possibility of damaged employee relationships. So if you have obviously been speaking with your current employer and you hand in your notice, research also suggests that even if you do accept the counteroffer, they actually start looking for your replacement anyway, because from a business continuity point of view, they need to be prepared in case you obviously do in the future look to hand in your notice, because I guess it gives them a bit of a kick up the backside to be prepared for replacing certain individuals in the future as well. So that is also something to bear in mind. So do you feel that if you accept the counteroffer, can you repair that damaged relationship by doing so? Now, it's not always the case. Obviously, there is a damaged relationship. So that's, again, for you to decide. So really, it comes back to you listing out the pros and cons of staying, the pros and cons of leaving, and weighing them up to see which decision feels right for you. I know it's an old cliche, but ultimately the decision does have to fall with you. You can't really be influenced by anyone. You can't be influenced by your potential new employer. You can't be influenced by a recruitment agency. You can't be influenced by your existing employer. You need to weigh it all out. Obviously, you can speak with family, friends, or different people and get their opinion, but ultimately you should probably have a gut feel of how you feel and whether it makes sense in your head or it feels right for you to accept that counter offer.